Good morning. Checking in with our Storm Watch coverage. Just wrapping up what happened yesterday in the Kingston, Brockville area. So the north is seeing some thunderstorms. And our other big story is the temperatures. Emily, bundling up this morning feels more like fall to start off today.
Why am I wearing a jacket on July 25th, Nicole? This just seems wrong. It's the 25th of July. We are smack dab in the middle of summer. We just finished what is supposed to be the hottest week of the season in southern Ontario. Not the case today. I am in Port Credit. I am down at Snug Harbor, and you can see water behind me. It's calm. The winds are relatively light. Just want to touch on that flooding in Kingston. Over 100 millimeters has my stepmom literally pumping 2 inches of water out of her basement an hour, and it looks as though she's going to be pumping until noon. People's basements, pools, decks, yards, farmers' fields flooded completely. It is going to be a bit of a cleanup for the Kingston area and through Westport and through Brockville and up towards Ottawa. Your local forecasts start right now.
Brockville, even parts of the Ottawa area saw too much rain in a very short period of time.
I feel sorry for those people camping in those kind of conditions. That must have been wet and, impossible to dry things out. But at least we've got some sunshine today and into tomorrow. So that is really the saving grace with this very wet scenario. We're also going to talk about some thunderstorms. This is going to be a big story today in the Northwest.
Absolutely. So we're not tracking thunderstorms around Kingston today, or the Ottawa for that matter. The Northwest, as Rachel mentioned. And speaking of weather and watching weather and sending in video, become a weather member. Go to twnroundtable.com/TV. We want to hear your input. You can do surveys and really be a part of the weather community. You can also win $250 worth of prizes.
Ooh, that sounds good. And of course, you can help shape some of the products and of course the apps that you love, brought to you by the Weather Network. All right, Emily, want to bring you into the picture. And Emily, you're by the water today. Beautiful scene, but I know you were supposed to be up in the hot air balloon. So what went wrong there?
The weather. What it always does. The weather is key when it comes to being in a hot air balloon. We were supposed to be taking off this morning in Kitchener, but because the winds that are coming in from the north, they're a little bit strong. I mean, they're sustained at about 5 kilometers an hour, but we saw gusts this morning, early this morning at about 26 kilometers an hour. So the pilots really have to make the call late last night is when we found out, actually. So it's really weather dependent. So yeah, today we're in Port Credit instead. And I'm actually kind of glad that I'm not up in the sky in windy conditions because I'm wearing a jacket and I probably would have been freezing up there. So on the ground, I'm wearing a jacket. It is cool this morning. Temperatures only into the mid-teens. And may I remind you that it is July 25th. I want to say good morning to some folks in the Ottawa area and in the Richmond area and through Brockville and Kingston where they're dealing with some serious flooding. I was talking to some family and some friends, and they have been pumping water out of their basements, almost 2 inches an hour. Farmers' fields have been completely flooded out. Crops are just trying to be salvaged at this point, and not only are farmers' fields, but people's local pools, streets were closed down in the Kingston area. So it has been just a mess with over 100 millimeters of rain in just a couple of hours yesterday, girls.
The wet summer that just doesn't want to give up.
Oh boy, and certainly cleanup mode today for Eastern Ontario, Northwestern Ontario, isolated severe storms north of Dryden, for example. Fort Hope, biggest risk is going to be some heavy downpours, which we often see with thunderstorms, as well as some hail. And temperatures, that's a big story. As Emily's saying, I mean, she's outside wearing a couple of layers. Usually Toronto's 27 for a daytime high.
I know. So now we're at the mid to the end of July, and we're still seeing these cooler conditions, but we'll be warming up into the weekend, and you can see everything you need to know about your weekend forecast right here in your local.
Our Storm Watch coverage continues here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Tuesday. It is July the 25th, and we're kind of in a recap right now of what has happened throughout southern Ontario, especially in eastern Ontario, with the intense amount of rainfall that we've been receiving over the last 24 hours. Now, the rain is done. We're just dealing with a lot of cloud cover, a ton of rain. We're going to be taking a look at some of the amounts. Over 100 millimeters of rain have fallen in through Kingston, up through Brockville, in through Richmond, which is just outside of Ottawa, and in through the Ottawa area, a ton of rain as well. Now, I've been talking to a couple of friends and family members that live in the Kingston area. They've been pumping out of water out of their basement since midnight last night at about 2 inches per hour, you guys. So it has been incredibly intense. Now, for more on the forecast details on what's happening elsewhere across the country, I'm going to send things back inside to you.
All right, thanks for the update, Emily. Nicole Karkic and Rachel Schutz in with you here. And let's talk about the temperatures, because this is our story moving forward this afternoon. 24 degrees in Toronto. I mean, you saw Emily. She's wearing a couple of layers. And this is generally when we're seeing some of our hottest temperatures of the entire year.
I know. And yesterday morning, we saw record-breaking lows for the morning in Atlantic Canada. So I think Mother Nature's got a little mixed up now, because we want temperatures into the high 20s. Unfortunately, we're just not getting it today. 27, though, in Timmins and Kapuskasing. So that's a fairly nice day.
And a lot more energy to work with today for a chance of thunderstorms here around Dryden up towards Fort Hope as well. Heavy rainfall, maybe even some small-sized hail. And heads up in the prairies. We've got some windy weather across southern Saskatchewan and Manitoba through the day today. But checking out what's going on towards the east here, we'll take you to the Montreal area, really thinning out. I mean, it's just a little bit misty, cloudy. Kingston's cloudy this morning, but you're not seeing the big event like yesterday. It's certainly just cleanup mode.
And we do need these 2 dry days of weather. We're looking at today and tomorrow. No rain in the forecast for places like Ottawa and Kingston, which of course is really going to help the efforts for all of this cleanup. At least we're a little bit warmer today in Montreal, 23 degrees. Yesterday it was a struggle just to get into the 20s.
Wow. Usually we're closer to about 26, so a few degrees off. That sunshine's going to help, though. Up and down the St. Lawrence, we've got some pleasant weather for you. But look at this, Halifax, 16 degrees for the daytime high. We're seeing some showers. It's really under 5 millimeters of rain from Halifax over towards Cape Breton, as well as the Avalon Peninsula.
Hi there. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. It is Tuesday. It's the 25th of July. I'm Emily Vukovic, and it's cold. Okay, it's not cold. It's a little on the cool side. I have my jacket on. If you are heading out with the kids, certainly dress appropriately if you're sending them off to camp this morning anywhere throughout southern Ontario, because temperatures are not where they should be, and today staying below seasonal. Now, rain has certainly been a massive story for much of southeastern Ontario up towards the Ottawa region. This all happened yesterday. It's not raining today, so our storm watch coverage is kind of almost a recap of what has happened. I do have a lot of friends and family that live in the Kingston, Brockville, kind of Richmond, Ottawa area, and some of them have been pumping water out of their basement since midnight last night, about 2 inches an hour, you guys. So the cleanup is certainly going to be massive. Farmers' fields are completely flooded out. Now the farmers are just trying to salvage the crops that they have left. That story will continue, but for now, for more on the forecast details, I'm going to send things back inside to you.
Thanks for that wrap up, Emily. Nicole Karkic and Rachel Schutz in with you here. And Emily touched on this, the cool temperatures. Yeah, a little bit cloudy out there, so not helping things out. By the afternoon, southern Ontario will get some sunshine, so that 24 in Toronto will be below average, Rachel, but it won't feel too bad.
And at least we're not expecting any rain today. It's going to be a dry day today, essentially from Windsor right past the GTA through Cottage Country and then out to places like Kingston and Ottawa that need it. But we are going to be looking at the risk of thunderstorms. Lots of energy moved in across the prairies, now into the northwest of Ontario.
Exactly. So we can see some heavy rainfall here coming down, as well as some gusty winds. And for Quebec, we are seeing some light showers. I mean, very light around Trois-Rivières. It's starting to thin out even at this hour. And you will see sunshine in the Montreal, Quebec City area by this afternoon. Nice looking for you. This is good patio weather. Montreal, 23 degrees this afternoon.
And a better day today in Montreal than, of course.
Well, we are following some showers moving into the Maritimes on Thursday, but we also have showers this morning across Halifax, Sydney, as well as the Avalon through the afternoon.
All right, when we come back, we'll be showing you some video from the flooding yesterday across southern Ontario. Force of Nature is next.
Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Tuesday. It is the 25th of July. I'm in Port Credit down by the water, hanging out close and personal with the swans. I think they think that I'm going to feed them because they keep coming like literally right up to my legs, and it's kind of freaking me out. I hope they don't bite me. Anyways, big story of the day today. We're talking about, of course, cloudy and cool conditions throughout much of southern Ontario, and we're talking about the rain that hit eastern Ontario very hard yesterday. Some areas actually reporting over 100 millimeters of rain, and farms got hit incredibly hard up towards Ottawa, a ton of rain. So over 100 millimeters of rain fell in Kingston. I have friends and family that have been pumping out their basements since midnight last night, and they expect to be until at least noon today. 2 inches an hour, ladies. It's been really, really intense for people trying to clean up. And temperatures, they're a little on the chilly side. So everybody outside trying to salvage their fields, they're doing it with a jacket on today.
Absolutely, and a bit of a grayer start to the day than I think we had hoped for, but sunshine, it's scheduled to come in this afternoon.
Absolutely. It's going to start to clear out of southern Ontario here, making way for a nice afternoon. 24 in Toronto in July. Yeah, it's below average, but that is still going to make people excited to hit up the patios morning and night.
Absolutely. Now, we're actually looking at warmer conditions up towards Timmins and Kapuskasing, but also here the risk of seeing a thunderstorm. So this energy has been tracking in from across the prairies now into the northwest, and really windy conditions associated with this.
That's right. Well, you do have some severe thunderstorm warnings that we've been following in southern Manitoba and northwestern Ontario this morning for the potential of some large size hail as well as those gusty winds. So this will be ongoing through the mid-morning. And for Quebec, not much to note at this hour. I mean, we've seen the cloud cover and light showers east of Montreal, but that is thinning out, folks. In the afternoon will be sunny and just below average.
All right, so a pretty good day for Montreal. As we take you now to Halifax, these were some of the scenes from yesterday.
Well, on Friday, it does look like we're following showers in Halifax as well as this mid-morning, but it clears out this afternoon as well. Chris Murphy will break down more of this big temperature divide across the east and west.
Well, certainly not a bad day throughout the GTA. We are seeing kind of a mix of sun and cloud. Temperatures struggling to reach seasonal averages, but still really quite pleasant as long as you're dressed for it. Think about, you know, maybe long sleeves, maybe capri pants today, sandals, yeah, maybe. Below seasonal averages really continuing for the remainder of the week, but tomorrow looks to be probably the most beautiful day of the week. You can see a bit of a hiccup for Thursday, but then as we get into the weekend, we are looking at very dry conditions, and that's probably one of the driest weekends we have seen all summer throughout the greater Toronto area. Now, for more details on the forecast, I'm going to send things back inside the studio.